Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the National Anthem of Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. We now invite the Chancellor of SMU, Mr. Lim Chee, to officially open the commencement ceremonies. Chancellor, please.
On behalf of Singapore Management University, I am pleased to extend my warmest welcome to our distinguished guests, faculty, graduates, and family members. I hereby declare Commencement 2021 ceremony open.
Thank you, Chancellor. May we invite everyone to take their seats. Good morning, guests of honor, Mr. Lawrence Wong, Minister for Finance, SMU Chancellor, Mr. Lim Chee, SMU Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Eddie Teo, members of the SMU's Board of Trustees, SMU President, Professor Lily Kong, senior management, faculty, distinguished guests, graduating class of 2021 and family members, and to all our guests joining us virtually. A very warm welcome to SMU Commencement 2021. SMU Chairman, Mr. Ho Kwon Ping, will now address us virtually.
Guest of honor, Finance Minister, Mr. Lawrence Wong. Chancellor SMU, Mr. Lim Chee, Pro-Chancellor SMU, Mr. Eddie Teo, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty and staff of SMU, the class of 2021, parents and guests, everyone at SMU Hall and online, good morning. Welcome to the opening ceremony of SMU commencement for the class of 2021. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to join you on this special day. At your virtual graduation ceremony in August, I promised that we would hold SMU's usual formal commencement ceremony with fanfares, gowns and regalia when COVID-19 safe management measures allowed. I'm delighted that your day has finally come. Completing your programs, taking exams, and seeking to commence your careers during a period of unprecedented disruption tested the resilience, resourcefulness, and creativity that SMU had sought to develop in you. We believe in you, wish you all the very best, and know you will continue to fly the SMU flag high and with honor. Some of you may have had to shoulder additional burdens, with extra household responsibilities as well as competition for space, privacy, and technology in your own homes. Last year's graduating cohort at SMU faced the same challenges. Yet, as usual for SMU graduates, they enjoyed the highest employment rates and starting salaries in Singapore. While it is too early to gauge the employment rate for your cohort, I know that many of you have begun very promising careers already. For all of you, this pandemic has been a generation-defining moment. The whole world will look back in awe one day at how your generation showed strength and courage. The pandemic is something that has profoundly affected every person entering adulthood around the world at this moment in time. Through this, you've developed and proven your resilience, adaptability, and creativity in overcoming the novel challenges resulting from this novel coronavirus. While the pandemic has taught us that no one can predict the future for Singapore or the global economy, our guest of honor today can certainly provide invaluable insights. Mr. Lawrence Wong was first elected Member of Parliament in 2011 and has been re-elected twice. He has held positions in the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Communications and Information, the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, the Ministry of National Development, and the Ministry of Education. Mr. Wong co-chairs the Multi-Ministry Task Force on COVID-19 and is the Deputy Chairman of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS. He is also a member of the GIC Board, the Future Economy Council, the Research, Innovation and Enterprise Council, and the National Research Foundation Board, and co-chairs the Singapore-Shanghai Comprehensive Cooperation Council. He also chairs the PAP Community Foundation and contributes to the labour movement as chairman of the Singapore Labour Foundation and advisor to the Union of Power and Gas Employees. Beginning his career as a civil servant, Mr. Wong has worked previously as the first chief executive of the Energy Marketing Authority and as the principal private secretary to Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. At the community level, he was involved in youth work in the church and voluntary organizations. Mr. Wong was educated at Tanjong Katong Secondary School and Victoria Junior College. He obtained his bachelor's and master's degrees in economics from the University of Wisconsin at Madison and the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. He also holds a master's degree in public administration from the Harvard Kennedy School. He kindly recorded a video message for your virtual graduation ceremony, but I'm particularly delighted now he's able to be here with us to address you in person. Have a wonderful ceremony and my very best wishes to all of you for the future. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Minister Wong to address us. Minister, please.
SMU Chancellor, Mr. Lim Chee-on, Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Eddie Teo, SMU President, Professor Lily Kong, faculty and distinguished guests, parents, and graduates. I'm very happy to join you today at SMU's commencement ceremony for the class of 2021. And since we are still in the first week of the new year, let me also wish all of you a very good start to the new year, and of course congratulate all our graduating students on this very special occasion. I'd like to acknowledge your parents and family members and loved ones who are here. All of you have played critical roles in supporting our graduates through their education journey. I'm sure you are very proud of what they have achieved. I would also like to highlight the contributions of the SMU faculty, professors, lecturers, and staff in SMU. You have all adjusted quickly to COVID restrictions, not just once, but repeatedly, and you have ensured learning continues seamlessly for our students throughout this pandemic. It's not been easy for you too, and I want to thank all of you for going the extra mile for our students. The graduating cohort had a virtual commencement ceremony last August, as we were unable then to meet due to COVID restrictions. So technically, you have already graduated. This year is supposed to be the class of 2022, but still I'm glad that we can make it up to you today with this in-person ceremony. We are able to meet today because COVID restrictions have been eased compared to last year, but we are still not yet out of the woods. You can read from the media that the Omicron variant is spreading like wildfire around the world, and we will soon experience this Omicron wave in Singapore too. But we have done everything we can to prepare for this surge in cases, and we will do our best to weather it without having to tighten our measures. We have been fighting this virus for about 2 years now. I think all of us are feeling fatigued and tired. COVID-19 has tested us, but it has not overwhelmed us, and it has not weakened us. Instead, it has shown us how our solidarity, our unity, and our resilience will help us to weather any storms. And all of you, especially our graduating cohort here today, all of you embody this resilient spirit. You have overcome many challenges, especially over the last 2 years, to get to where you are today. You adapted to home-based learning, the cancellation of overseas trips, and limitations on gathering sizes. You found new ways to learn online and to keep in touch with your friends and to thrive. Most of all, I'm glad that in these difficult times, many of you also looked beyond your own circumstances to help others in need. Like graduates Victoria Neo and Jaslyn Kwek, who organized the #StaySafeAma campaign to raise funds through social media to provide care packs for the elderly. Or the SMU Rotaract Club and SMU Uni-Y, which started Project Yoke Fellow to support our migrant workers, interacting with them online while they are undergoing quarantine, and then after their quarantine, engaging them through various activities. So as you mark the end of your journey in SMU, all of you can be justifiably proud of what you have achieved, especially in overcoming the challenges of COVID-19. As Mr. Ho Kwan Peng said just now, COVID-19 may well be the defining moment for your generation. People are already referring to youths of today around the world as the COVID generation. Well, you may be marked by COVID-19, but you have not been scarred by it. Instead, you have emerged stronger and more resilient from this crisis. So when they talk about COVID generation, you don't have to be ashamed about the label. It is a label that you can wear with a badge of honor because you have emerged from COVID stronger and more resilient. Having gone through such an experience and still going through, even till today, what lies ahead for you and your generation? No one can predict what the future will hold. Perhaps some of you are hoping that after going through COVID, or at least 2 years of COVID, after working so hard to get to where you are today, and with an SMU degree in hand, everything in life will now fall neatly into place. Now, SMU is a great university, and an SMU degree can indeed help to open up many opportunities across diverse fields. But remember, a degree is not a passport to a good life. The stark reality is that what you have experienced over these recent years are likely just a dress rehearsal for more challenges and more obstacles to come throughout your lifetime. So be prepared. Life will be full of unpredictability, challenges, and obstacles. You may have difficulties finding a job you really like. You may encounter discrimination. You may run low on funds sometime down the road. You may lock horns with someone at work. You may be in the middle of a creative block. The list of possible obstacles is endless. Every one of us will encounter tests, trials, and tribulations. It's how we deal with them that matters. When the going gets tough, it's sometimes tempting to externalize the problem, and then we find fault with others. But remember, there is always something that we can personally control, our mindsets and our actions. Our circumstances do not necessarily determine us, and our challenges do not have to defeat us. It is how we think about and react to them that will decide if we succeed or fail. And perhaps some of us are too used to doing things our way or getting things quickly. We want everything right here, right now. But there is no instant formula to achieving success. It takes patience and time, and importantly, it takes drive, hunger, discipline, and hard work to achieve your goals. And along the way, there are bound to be obstacles and failures. Do not be afraid of them. Instead, embrace and recognize them for what they are. Opportunities to learn, to improve, and to do better in the future. And this is not just mere exhortation, because you see this time and again throughout history. The people who achieve and excel in any field are often those who have experienced failures or who have faced multiple obstacles along the way. But they were not deterred, and they did not give up. Instead, the obstacles or failures that they experienced became fuel that drove their hunger and their ambition. And they were motivated to work even harder, and in the end, they achieved something special. The former CEO of Intel, Andy Grove, once said that bad companies are destroyed by crisis. Good companies survive crisis. Great companies are improved by crisis. The lesson applies not just to companies, but to all of us as individuals. Whatever the adversity we face, we can find ways to flip it around and turn it to our advantage. So we do not have to be destroyed by crisis. We do not even survive crisis, but we improve through crisis. Look at our world badminton champion, Loh Kian Yew, as an example. He took part in the Tokyo Olympics last year, and he was eliminated in the group stage. I think he was disappointed by that. He had hoped he could have done better. But he didn't let this setback deter him. Instead, he doubled down on his training. And after Tokyo, he went to Dubai to train with Victor Axelsen, who was then the reigning Olympic champion. Then, during the World Championship competition, as all of you would have read, he suffered an ankle injury. But against the odds, he persevered, and he brought home Singapore's first World Badminton gold medal. As he put it, to quote him, "Discipline is not something that should be reflected only in badminton. Discipline should be applied in every aspect of your life. This truly reflects the character of a champion." And you see this same spirit amongst all of you, our graduating cohort too. Take the example of Asher Chua Yi Liang, one of our graduates today. Asher developed, as he acknowledged, bad habits as a teen. He lost interest in his studies, and he dropped out of school, secondary school, at the age of 15. 15 years old, he dropped out of school, and he started doing part-time jobs. But he realized that this was not the path he wanted for himself, and so he took his O-levels as a private candidate. When he was admitted to Republic Poly, he did well enough to get into Republic Polytechnic, and when he was admitted there, he promised himself that this was a fresh start, and so he would persevere and make full use of this opportunity. So he graduated from Republic Poly as a valedictorian in his course. In SMU, he continued to work hard, but not just in his studies. He completed over 320 hours of community service, including helping underprivileged children, all the while supporting himself financially throughout his university education. In fact, he continued to work part-time while studying in SMU in order to clear off his student loan as soon as possible. And so he will be graduating today debt-free because he has already cleared his student loan and with a Bachelor of Science in Information Systems. Well done, Asher. There are many more examples of students like Asher overcoming adversity, overcoming challenges. Not all of you may have such a dramatic turnaround in your life. Not all of you may be like Kian Yu, pursuing sporting glory at the international level. But all of you have your own dreams, your own goals. And on this road of growth and discovery, you should all strive to be champions in everything you do. And that means resisting the temptation to take the easy way out or to find expedient shortcuts. But tackle whatever challenges you may face head on and keep on pushing forward no matter what the circumstances are. In fact, for all our students having gone through 2 years of the pandemic, I hope you will have received some inoculation. Not inoculation against the virus, but inoculation against a culture of instant success. Success doesn't come instantly, it requires hard work. And going through a crisis like this, I think we learn not to take things for granted. We appreciate that the good things in life do not just fall on our laps. We have to fight and we have to work hard for them. So having drive and discipline, having grit, perseverance and hard work, these are far more important qualities than your degree or your GPA. These are ultimately the qualities that will determine how far you will go in achieving your goals, whatever they are. And through it all, I strongly encourage all of you to keep on learning. Today is your graduation, but it's just the beginning of a journey of lifelong learning, and that's why we call it a commencement. It's a beginning. Everyone claims to embrace continuous learning. But the fact is, learning takes hard work, it takes discipline, and it's often easier said than done. Sometimes I hear people tell me, hooray, I'm done with all this studying. Finally, I can put away the books. Or sometimes you hear people say, well, I've already studied all I can about this subject. I've spent 4 years focusing on this, and perhaps there's not much left to learn. But these are dangerous thoughts. The pretense of self-knowledge is a dangerous vice that will prevent us from getting better. In fact, the only way to develop and grow as a person, to be a better human being, is to have a student mindset. To always be a student in your way of thinking, which means to be self-critical in recognizing your own shortcomings, to be self-motivated in looking for areas of improvement, and to keep on striving to do better. And there is really no excuse not to continue learning. Books are cheaper than ever, courses are readily available, and you can always come back, you should come back to SMU to access a whole range of continuing education programs and modules. And to top it off, all of you have Skills Future credits to get you started, so make full use of them. To conclude, in this unpredictable and volatile world, the pursuit of your goals will not be as straightforward as you would like them to be. Many of you will not find yourselves moving directly to your desired destination. You may hit some road bumps, you may have to do a detour, or you may have to take a more winding road to finding your own purpose and meaning in life. And that is okay, because Singapore, despite being a small island state, is big enough for you to find your purpose and live your dreams. And as a government, we will continue to support you throughout this journey. Importantly, as you continue to learn and grow, don't forget those who have nurtured you throughout the years. Don't forget your community. Take time to give back to your neighborhood and look out for those who are more vulnerable around you. Honor those who made it possible for you to succeed. Your parents, your family, your loved ones, your friends and neighbors. Remember that your success is also your community's success. And finally, move forward with confidence that you are not charting this journey alone. When we support one another and when we stand in solidarity, we are always stronger together. So to our graduates, we stand with you and we cheer you on. Once again, my congratulations to all of you on your graduation, and I'm very confident that I will hear more about your successes in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
was one of the unfortunate ones whose livelihood got sort of affected. I was used to be very active in like the emceeing space or like doing live events, and I saw like all my side hustle business just go to zero within a span of like 3 months.
I was one of the very unfortunate students who went on exchange, and then I was called back here, and you know there was a period of time where I was very clueless.
COVID-19 has affected people worldwide in a variety of ways. Right? Some people have had their livelihoods and their lifestyles really challenged, and well, I mean, that being said, COVID-19 it has impacted me significantly in some ways. I'm a fan of fitness, I like to hit the gym, right? But obviously during circuit breaker that wasn't possible. What we realized was actually that people with disabilities, there isn't really an online resource where they can go to and gain access to workout plans and stuff like that, right? So we thought, hey, why not, we step in, we plug the gap in the market, and we launched this initiative called Being Singapore. So essentially what we do nowadays weekly is we host online fitness classes for people with disabilities.
There was this opportunity where I'm part of this CCA called Conjunct Consulting, and they started this separate arm called Thrive Social Consulting. So they decided that why not we students get together to help voluntary welfare organizations who are also struggling to keep up with their operations during this circuit breaker times. As students, we can bring in our fresh perspectives to this whole arena, and we can also help VWOs operationalize some of their events online.
We had to implement a system to try to encourage elderly at the Mountbatten area come out of their houses to interact with each other. And during COVID period, obviously that wasn't really explicitly allowed. And what happened was a lot of the centers, daycare centers that they go to, they were all closed. So they were all cooped out at home, nobody visited them. How do we then encourage them to come out so that we reduce instances of elderly depression?
I think COVID-19 really helped us see, people banded together to help those who were really disproportionately affected, especially, for example, the migrant workers.
What COVID-19 really shed light for me was that it actually disproportionately affected people of lower income groups. I'm very thankful that I was privileged enough to not be very badly hit by COVID-19, especially with the government grants, subsidies. For me, the main takeaway is that we should always be grateful for what we have.
What I took away from this is that we all within us have the ability to make someone's day. We all have the ability to carry that positivity, that positive vibe, and share it with the world. And I think we really live in a world without strangers.
And now for the conferral of the undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. Graduates, please rise. Graduates, please rise. We now invite SMU Chancellor, Mr. Lim Chee, accompanied by SMU President, on stage for the conferment. Chancellor, please.
By the powers granted pursuant to the Singapore Management University Act, I hereby confer upon you the degrees shown respectively and admit you to all the accompanying rights, privileges, and responsibilities. You are henceforth proud graduates of this university, and I bid you to always uphold the good name and standards of this institution. Congratulations.
Thank you all. I would now like to invite Chancellor back to his seat and President to the rostrum. Graduates, please be seated. Professor Lily Kwon will now address us. President, please.
Guest of Honor, Finance Minister Mr. Lawrence Wong, Chancellor SMU Mr. Lim Chee, Pro-Chancellor SMU Mr. Eddie Teo, Chairman Mr. Ho Kwon Ping, who is attending virtually, and members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff in the class of 2021, and guests joining us at SMU Hall as well as online. A very good morning to everyone, and congratulations once again to the class of 2021 on graduating from SMU. Commencement marks the end of an important period in your lives and the beginning of a new phase as you embark on your career. That is why, as you've heard from Minister already, we call this commencement. It is a significant moment in your lives, and so, although you graduated many months ago, your hard work and achievements deserve to be celebrated. 4 or 5 years ago, most of you were sitting in a gathering just like this, excited and full of enthusiasm. But it was then Convocation 2017, after your freshman team building camp. You had been selected during our rigorous admissions process, and you showed the potential to benefit from SMU's transformative education. When you first joined SMU, some of you may have been reserved and unsure of yourselves, but over the years with us, I'm certain you have learned and acquired knowledge and a whole range of different skills. Today, I see confident young men and women who have a strong sense of social responsibility and a necessary understanding and appreciation of different cultures. At SMU, you approached learning through a variety of disciplines. You applied your knowledge to real-world problems in your public, private, and non-profit sector internships. And you had opportunities to learn about cultures and practices around the globe, even though some of you might have done so virtually. SMU's holistic education shaped you into a well-rounded individual with broad-based learning and deep knowledge in your area of specialization. SMU also provided you with the opportunities to embrace a global outlook and a desire to make meaningful impact in the world. You were challenged, and I know some of you particularly felt so during the COVID period. But you committed yourself in a wide range of co-curricular and community service activities. In true SMU spirit, you pursued your dreams, took risks, dared to fail, and learned to succeed with grace. Whether you studied here as an undergraduate or postgraduate, you grew and matured as an individual who will seize the initiative, assume the obligations of leadership, and take responsibility for your actions. Don't forget that education is a lifelong process. Minister reminded you of that earlier. And you have learned how to learn here. This has prepared you, I think, for a challenging career with successes along the way, and we have provided you with the know-how, with the skill sets and the resilience, I think, to adapt to the demands of an ever-changing world. And you will have to continue to learn to adapt through lifelong learning as well as seizing and creating opportunities. You will need to constantly hone your skills and upgrade your knowledge. We hope that you will continue your lifelong journey with us through our rapidly increasing range of postgraduate, executive, and professional programs at both Executive Education and SMU Academy. Today, I would also like to acknowledge the parents, siblings, relatives, and friends who are present. You played such a crucial role in these graduates' journeys and in their achievement. Today is a long-awaited celebration for you too. And so I invite everyone to please join me in giving all of you a big round of applause. My thanks to all of you graduates who have kept up the SMU tradition of contributing collectively to a graduating class scholarship. Your contributions will enable students with financial need to enjoy the SMU education that you have had. We truly appreciate your generosity. Remember that you are now amongst the ranks of some 24,000 alumni, and I encourage you to stay connected with one another, with your schools, and with the university. I'm sure you will cherish the enduring friendships that you have formed and nurtured here. As you step into the world of work, I urge all of you to carry our circle values of commitment, integrity, responsibility, collegiality, leadership, and excellence with you wherever you go. These circle values are a vital part of SMU's holistic approach to education. In recognition of the students who have especially embraced these values, the university confers on them SMU's Circle Awards at the commencement ceremony each year. Circle Award winners have been actively involved in serving and giving back to SMU, but also the community at large. They have demonstrated leadership abilities, are upright in character, and well respected by peers, staff, and faculty. They are role models. In closing, I just want to say that I'm glad to see so many of you again and to know that you are safe, well, and adapting to this new normal. I hope to be able to see you again soon, perhaps when you attend our alumni events, take up a postgraduate course, or volunteer to mentor your juniors. We look forward to you staying in touch with your alma mater. Once again, my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to all of you. I'm confident that you will make a meaningful impact and help to shape a better world for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Please remain on stage. It is now our pleasure to present the Circle Award winners. From the School of Computing and Information Systems, Chun Yu-xiang. Chu Yi-xuan, Vimy. From the School of Social Sciences, Jacinda Ko Hui Lu. Hui Chin Yen Justin. From the Yongpang House School of Law, Lau Yi-hang. From the Lee Kong Chuan School of Business, Ki Xian Jun. Mark Wong Feng, Ron. From the School of Accountancy, Lim Yu Pen, Wilson. Tae Kai Yin. From the School of Economics, Xia Si Yun. Thank you, Professor Kong. Congratulations to all our Circle Award winners.
When I think back about my time at SMU, it's not so much like the milestones. It would be about the people that I've met, the friendships that I've made, definitely more important than whatever academic achievements I've got so far. I would draw parallels to graduating in the pandemic with watching a very long and exciting movie, only for it to end on a very bad cliffhanger. Things have just come to an end of what's supposed to be the most exciting and the most challenging period of your life in SMU. At the same time, I do see some silver linings graduating in the pandemic. An environment that is as VUCA as it can get, right? As volatile, as uncertain as it can get. That grooms us to be more prepared for whatever life throws at us in the future. Hey guys, congratulations firstly. Personally, there were so many times throughout these 4 years where I felt like giving up. Graduating in this time, it must not be easy at all, but we made it. We should be proud of ourselves for making it to this point. It's unfortunate that we are unable to graduate alongside one another physically last year. I'm really glad that SMU pushed through and organised a physical ceremony as the pandemic hopefully gets better. I really look forward to meeting all of you guys once again, to celebrate properly and have that proper closure to graduating from SMU. For now, stay safe and take care.
I was previously a very quiet, introverted person. I found it a struggle to express myself. The first thing that definitely struck me was the interactive pedagogy at SMU, because you're not spoon-fed any answers, you're essentially forced to participate and have your views out there, be challenged by other people. That was very good, that the pedagogy helped me to express my views more confidently. When I went to Vietnam for the community service project, we were mainly teaching in this very small town whereby the students were not too financially well off. We taught them basic sanitation skills and English speaking skills, and we also helped to construct a library for them. And it really struck me that despite having so little, they would still have this hunger and drive to learn so much more. With regard to the pandemic and how it impacted our studies, I would say that it did dampen our mood. Despite the difficulties, our batch would have been able to resolve them through the support of the school. To the class of 2021, I know it's been a tough time, but we should celebrate this moment where we have graduated. I hope that we will continue to remain in contact, but in the meantime, please stay safe and all the best ahead.
May we now invite Professor Lily Kong back on stage to present the awards. Let's welcome Lucas Ethan Tiong Chin Wei to receive his SMU Salutatorian Award. Let's welcome Darien De Chun Yu to receive his Kwek Hong Ping Valedictorian Award and SPH Valedictorian Award. Thank you, President. May we invite you back to your seat and Darien to the rostrum to deliver his valedictorian speech. Darien, please.
Good morning, one and all. Guest of honor, Minister Lawrence Wong, SMU President, Deans, and faculty. It is my privilege to deliver the commencement speech. Today, I would like to reference 3 groups of people who have impacted our lives in university and whom we should be thankful for. The first group of people are our family members. They have been our pillar of support, and they never once gave up on us. As with many conventional Asian households, growing up, my parents rarely said, "I love you." Instead, they would ask if I'd eaten,
if they could fetch me around, or if I needed new clothes. And I only realized when I was much older that this was their way of expressing affection. I recall that on many nights where I returned home late, either from rushing a group project or an assignment, my mother would welcome me home with her open arms and would ask me if I was hungry no matter how late. I also remember that my father was also supportive in my pursuits and was always willing to cheer me on in my myriad endeavors. So look to the parents who are seated around you today and remember that despite your achievements, it is not merely your own doing. Many parents or guardians often joke that they rarely get to see their children after they embark on university. The library and classrooms become their second home. They leave the house before you're awake and come back only when you're asleep. Sometimes you wonder whether your household had just become another dormitory. While hard work is important, now that we have graduated and are pursuing our careers, I hope that we will still make time for family. Our parents or guardians are no longer the sprightly adults with ceaseless amounts of energy, but have become weary and even forgetful. So treasure the time you have left with them. While it's important to be a good student or employee in future, it is even more important to be a filial son or daughter. The second group of people to be thankful for are, of course, our many beloved and erudite professors. As the adage goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and our transformation and growth in university is attributable to the many selfless professors who are willing to mentor us. I was neither a very vocal nor active student prior to university. I used to be that student who would hurriedly find a seat in the back of the classroom, hoping that I would not get called upon. So when I first attended lectures in SMU, it was quite a culture shock to be thrown into a Socratic seminar-style system, which emphasized having a facilitative dialogue, and where the answers were no longer being spoon-fed to us. But what really helped in our development was the supportive culture that the professors had fostered in trying to elicit our responses. I remember my heart beating rapidly when I first raised my hand to answer a question in class. I remember getting the question entirely wrong and making an embarrassment out of myself. But never once did our professors put us down or ridicule our views. As best they could, they would try to guide us, to distill our points, and to encourage us to voice our opinion. With the guidance of our tutors, we have become more confident and eloquent in projecting our views. So remember to thank your dear professors who have worked hard to foster that collegiate environment for learning, who toiled over grading our projects and assignments, and who are always willing to grant us extra consultation sessions, no matter how busy they were. The third group of people to mention are the friends and classmates which we had met along the way. Whenever we encountered difficulties or hurdles, at least we knew that we were not alone. I'm sure we had many difficult moments in university, and I would like to share one moment which stood out to me. This happened around the time of our final examinations. I just received the very unfortunate news that my grandfather had passed on. To attend his funeral, I had to fly to Hong Kong with my family, as that was where my relatives resided. This meant missing quite a few weeks of lessons, which were even more critical since they were revision lectures prior to exams. I recall being overwhelmed by many emotions. That of grief from my granddad's passing, and that of anxiety from not being able to revise properly. But in my moment of helplessness, my friends were there to support me. I recall how selfless they were in being willing to share with me their lecture notes for various modules, to help me catch up on the class materials, and how they consoled and cheered me on. And from that experience, I learned something very important. That as we move forwards in life, no one is going to remember what grades you got on a certain module, whether you won any prizes, and not even the class of honors many years from now. But what people will remember acutely is how we treated them and empathized with them in their moment of need. So class of 2021, please continue to remain kind to the people around you and to magnanimously extend a helping hand to those in need. And I hope we can build a cherished community that can last a lifetime. Lastly, as has become customary, there is a need to address the elephant in the room and the COVID-19 situation. Years ago, the word Zoom was merely an onomatopoeia for vehicle noises. Many might not have heard of the Wuhan province in China, and having regular vaccine shots was unorthodox. Such are the vagaries of life. unpredictable, and unforeseeable. COVID-19 has truly tested our mettle and made our learning journey more arduous, as we had to adapt to taking lessons remotely without the benefit of physical interactions. The pandemic had also disrupted many job opportunities as the hiring intake for firms had shrunk, and perhaps we had to settle for some other career option in the interim, whilst holding on to the belief that our dream job was still within grasp. But fret not. While there may be impediments in our journey, we should not let this deter us from moving forwards. If I could share a quote by Mr. F. Scott Fitzgerald, many of us might know him as the world-renowned author who penned novels like The Great Gatsby. But what many would not know is that when Mr. Fitzgerald ended his university education, he was struggling to even get a novice writing job. He had to beg multiple editors of newspapers before being given a small advertising role. So he didn't reach his destination immediately, and he had to take several layovers and transits in the proverbial journey of life. And he has this to share. For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in your case, too early, to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit, start whenever you want. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best of it or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. And I hope you live a life that you're proud of. But if you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. Thank you for your kind attention, everyone. And to the class of 2021, happy graduation, and I wish you the very best ahead.
Thank you, Darien. And congratulations to all the award winners from the class of 2021.
Up in the zoo, I'm like Chief, keep me Rafiki, who been Lion King to you. Pocket watch it like kangaroos, tell these clowns we ain't amused. Man, the clips for that monkey business, 4-5 got change for you. Motorcades we came through, presidential with the planes too. One better get you with the presidential, undefeated with the king too. I said no to the Super Bowl, you need me, I don't need you. Every night we in the end zone, tell the NFL we in stadium. I'm popping my legs, I'm popping, we go to the dinner and clap it out. Sipping my favorite alcohol, got me so lit I need Tylenol. All of my people I pray I'm on, I just know what wanna see the stars. Tell the Grammys that 0 for 8 Have you ever seen a crowd going ape shit? Step my money fast, go fast, fast, fast like my Lambo. Jumping off the stage, oh, crowd better save us. I can't believe we made it. This is what we made for. I can't believe we made it. Have you ever seen a crowd going ape shit? tonight you got me falling for you, and only you. I'm reaching out in hopes that you reach for me too. Girl, let's groove. Girl, you got me singing.
Thank you, SMU Eurhythmix, for such an electrifying performance. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2021. We have now come to the end of the opening ceremony. Please remain seated for the academic recession.
You would be $100 if being fine was a crime. Girl, they lock your little fine up in the tower. The way you move like you do, ooh, it's like you do it for a living. Do a little spin, do it again. See, look like you play for the win. Oh, baby, I'm tryna roll, I'm tryna ride, I'm tryna float, I'm tryna glide. No, don't be shy, just take my hand and hold on tight. Oh, skate to me, baby. Skate, slide your way on over. Slide your way on over. Skate to me, baby. Skate. I wanna get to know ya. I wanna get to know ya. Come on. Oh my. Got your hair in the wind and your skin glistening. I can smell your sweet perfume. You smell better than a barbecue. A superstar is what you are. I'm your biggest fan. If you're looking for a man, sugar, here I am. I'm tryna roll, I'm tryna ride, I'm tryna roll with you, darling. I'm tryna float, I'm tryna glide. Oh no, don't be shy, just take my hand and hold on tight. Oh, skate to me, baby. Skate, slide your way on over. Slide your way on over. Skate to me, baby. Skate, I wanna get to know ya. I wanna get to know ya. I never fall, but tonight you got me falling for you, and only you. I'm reaching out in hopes that you reach for me too. Girl, let's groove. Girl, you got me singing. Skate to me, baby. Skate, come on, slide your way on over. Slide your way on over.
Please remain seated as we will begin the SCIS ceremony shortly. parents and graduates will require you to remain seated in your allocated seats. Please do not move forward to occupy the front seats as for contact tracing purposes. So please do remain in your seats. Thank you. Professor Pang Hui Hua, faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the School of Computing and Information Systems Undergraduate Commencement Ceremony for the class of 2021. Before we begin, let's take a look at the journey that the SCIS class of 2021 have been on. I would now like to welcome Professor Pang Hui Hua, Dean of the School of Computing and Information Systems, to deliver his welcome address. Professor Pang, please.
Good morning, graduates of SMU School of Computing and Information Systems, family and friends of our graduates, colleagues, welcome. It's great to see all of you here in this celebration. It is an unsettling yet exciting time for you, class of 2021. For almost 2 years, we have had to put up with different safe management measures, just keep adjusting our plans. Compounding the uncertainty, industries that were just starting to transform pre-COVID have picked up the pace of transformation. That's creating a lot of demand for certain jobs, even as other sectors are forced to shed jobs. A big wave that we are experiencing is digitalization, involving the use of digital technology to transform business and society. Computing professionals like you have the exciting opportunity to create our digital future. How is our school contributing to this digital future? We do that through our education and our research. In 2016, we updated our Bachelor of Science Information Systems degree to create 6 specialization tracks in analytics, digitalization and cloud solutions, financial technology, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and software development. We then started the Smart City Management and Technology major in 2017, followed by new bachelor degrees in Computer Science in 2019 and in Computing and Law in 2020. To our Master of IT in Business degree, or MITB, we added an Artificial Intelligence track and a Digital Transformation track. We also realigned our research together with our PhD and Master by Research degrees to focus on 3 areas: AI and data science, human-machine collaborative systems, and information systems and technology. We even renamed our school in January last year to School of Computing and Information Systems to reflect our expanded research and education portfolio covering a broad spectrum of computing areas. So when you were rushing for project deadlines during your study, quite often when you think of the old acronym SCIS, it meant sleep in school. So with the new school name, we are SCIS now, you no longer sleep in school, but you sleep comfortably in school. So are all these changes a lot of hard work? Of course they are hard work, but we need to do that to keep relevant, to ensure that your training is up to date. Just like we evolve in anticipation of technology trends and industry demands, you will have to keep updating your knowledge and skills throughout your career. You may even have to reinvent yourself for multiple careers. The soft skills that you have acquired, like communication and project management, should be cumulative and transferable across jobs. As for hard technical skills, you have laid a solid foundation at SMU, but you will need to continually reinforce that foundation and build on top of it. In closing, I want to acknowledge the family and friends who are in this ceremony. Thank you for trusting us with your loved ones' education. No doubt, you are proud of what they have achieved and hopeful of their future. My colleagues and I feel the same. To the class of 2021, pursue your dreams. Use your energy, knowledge, and skills to create our digital future and make life better for yourself, your family, and society. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pang. Please remain on stage for the presentation of the degrees to the students.
Han Yu Xiang, summa cum laude, and winner of the SMU Circle Award. Chu Yishuan Vinny, summa cum laude, and winner of the SMU Circle Award. Aaron Lee Tien En. Adrian Chang Fu Ren, magna cum laude, and winner of the SCIS Singapore Cyber Security Student Award. Amanda O. Ri-ying. Asher Chua Yi Liang, magna cum laude. Etin Boru Sarah Jo. Austin Un Chen, summa cum laude. Bak In Sin, cum laude. Beatrice Elizabeth Ku Hui Min, magna cum laude. Boon Hui Chen, cum laude. Chang Eun Ray. Chang Jesslyn. Charmaine Te Shiyun. Chen Junyi. Cheong Yiwei Paul, cum laude. Ching Wen-Ti Clive, magna cum laude. Chu Xueqi, cum laude. Chong Sweet Ting. Choi Yu-min Justin, cum laude. Chua Ming-yun, summa cum laude. Chua Pei-si, summa cum laude, and winner of the Paul Goodman Learning Innovation Award. Chua Xuanyi Rachel, cum laude. Chee Sun Hang, cum laude. Clarice Ellison Ho. Dunstan Go Kun Bun. Darren Tan Yong Hung. Don Tan Kok Jun, magna cum laude and winner of the Paul Goodman Learning Innovation Award. Eddie Liao Kien Giap. Elson Ng Wei Yang. Ethel Sim Li Ming. Evelyn Chee Sui Lin. Fong Ziwen Wing Ryan, magna cum laude. Fu Yong Lung. Gan Ming Xuan Darren, summa cum laude. Gracia Yu Yono, Kwan Tala Lu. Greg Tan Bun Kiet. Guo Ling Sing, cum laude. Hamizan Ali bin Azmi. Hannah Caitlin Tan Mei Zhen. Heng Junjie. Please put your hands together to welcome the Kwek Hong Peng School of Computing and Information Systems Valedictorian for the class of 2021, Eli Lim Hwan Sen. Thank you, Professor Pang. May we please invite you back to your seat. Eli will now deliver his speech.
Hi. Okay. Distinguished guests, Dean Pang, professors, faculty members, family and friends, good morning. Or good afternoon. Yeah. I'm greatly honored to be here today, and to the class of 2021, to be seated here is actually a huge achievement. Over the years, we've spent many nights challenging our body clocks, in the morning fighting our alarm clocks, getting off the bus, rushing to SCIS block, and finally reaching class to listen to Prof talk. Many afternoons spent in Project Way and SCIS Lounge, completing projects and assignments. Many nerve-wracking hours delivering presentations, coding for lab tests, and sitting for exams. Time really flies, right? 4 years ago, we came to SMU, sat down for the very first time in a seminar room, attended our very first lesson, and had our very first lunch at Kofu. I'd like to congratulate all of us for getting to this huge milestone in our lives. This might come as a surprise, but achieving this milestone of even graduating from university almost remained a dream for me. Some of my friends might know, but in my first attempt at enrollment, I was actually rejected by the school. Many of us might remember that one of the toughest questions we had to face in our young adult lives was, how many Starbucks coffees were sold in a day? Or other variations such as, how many people in Singapore play the piano? Like many others, I was caught off guard by this benign question during the admissions interview of SMU. My mind went blank and I froze, but I had a simple and brilliant solution to break the tense, awkward silence in the interview room, which is to replace the silence with nonsense. Well, we can pretty much guess how that turned out, and alas, I was bested by my panic, flogged, and was subsequently turned away. At the time, it was a pretty devastating blow. I was convinced that I wouldn't get a second chance. I had no other offers, I felt completely lost, and I had failed. But I wasn't going to give up there. I was going to be as persistent as like a little mosquito, buzzing around the ear of SMU and the interviewers, until they finally let me in. And this time round, on my second attempt, I made it. I was extremely thankful that SCIS took me in, and a big shout out to Professor Wong, who happened to be my interviewer on the second attempt, who gave me the second chance that I needed. I share this little anecdote because many of us will soon come up against uncertain times, filled with unexpected setbacks. Here we are, having accomplished one of the biggest milestones of our young adult lives. We fought hard through late-night study sessions, project sprints, summer, winter internships, maybe part-time internships during the semester. Finally, we've made it to the finish line. But almost immediately, another race is coming, a daunting one in the midst of COVID-19. As it stands, we face a beaten-down job market in a weird economic landscape, disrupted by the global pandemic. But in the face of all of this, we shall persevere. We will bite down hard and say, bring it on. If we fail today, we try again and again and again until we get that offer that we've been working so hard for. Until our virtual bosses tell us, good job. Until we get the SMU interviewer to say, okay lah, you can come. To our dearest professors and instructors, although it's unlikely that you remember all of us due to the brain's natural storage capacity, know that all of us will remember each and every one of you. Please know that your efforts over the last 4 years have paid off and will continue to do so over the years that lie ahead. A special shout out to Professor Liao Leong, the man himself, who lost so many nights of sleep through his chronic worrying for us, the man who kept us awake at night to think of all the different elegant ways to print a Christmas tree. To my fellow graduates, I did average for my PSLE, my O-levels, and my diploma. I told myself that coming to university, I wanted to do better for my bachelor's degree, and I somehow managed to. So for those of us who are doubting ourselves, given our rocky journeys up to this point, do not be discouraged. Failure is natural in life, and as long as we persevere and keep trying, eventually great things will come to us and we can achieve what we set out to. Congratulations once again, class of 2021, and I wish you the very best in your future endeavors. We're all from the same SMU family, so let's always stay connected and tide over this pandemic together. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli. With that, we've come to the end of this commencement ceremony. Thank you for coming and congratulations to all School of Computing and Information Systems graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated as our Dean and faculty take their leave. Graduates, please follow our ushers' directives to exit the hall. Parents, please do remain in your seats. Our ushers will direct your zones out of the hall one at a time. In the meantime, please share your feedback